What's up, y'all? What's up? So back again with the 7 steps to being healthy and fit. Um, so we've talked about 3 of the 4 up to this point, right? So we talked about, and actually I gave you a bonus, right? So we talked about setting a goal. We talked about knowing your why. We talked about yesterday we talked about keeping the time diary, right? And then we talked about prioritizing, right? So again, goal, right? Know your why, prioritize, and then you got to manage your time, right? So as we go through these, I'll keep reminding you of the past ones. But if you missed it, right? If you weren't able to be live for it, you can look back at my IGTV. You can also look on YouTube. They're on YouTube and my YouTube channel as well. Both the links are up in the bio. But we're just going through seven steps to get you healthy and fit without having to be in the gym. This one actually is about the gym, but it's not like, super crazy, right? About being in the gym. And it's actually something that a lot of people I deal with, and this is one of their struggles, right? And I mentioned yesterday, people, I'm talking about time management, people's biggest issue or the thing that they struggle with the most is that they just don't have the time, right? They don't have the time to get the workout done. You're busy. You got things going on in your life and your business with your family. You have other goals and aspirations and things you want to accomplish. So it's tough to find the time in the day, right? And that's why we say you have to make the time and not find the time, right? If we're looking for the time, we're never going to find it. We have to actually make the time. And so that's why we do that time diary where we go through for 3 to 5 days and we literally write down everything that we do throughout the day. So we have some clarity on where we're actually spending our time and then how maybe we can lump some things together to be more efficient or remove some things that are maybe wasting our time, right? Once we've done that, right, we have an account for what our time is being spent on, how we're spending our time. We know what our day is like. We know what we're doing. Then we can start to implement the +15 method. Okay. And so again, this is something that most people struggle with. They just don't have the time. They can't figure it out. And so a lot of people just won't do it. They won't work out. They won't go to the gym. They won't do, a workout at home. They won't, get a YouTube video just because, you can't find the time. Right. And so the +15 method is literally like after you have done the, mapping out your time, you start to look for 15-minute chunks. Okay. So it's not like I need an hour to work out or I need to go run for 45 minutes. Or if I don't have, an hour and a half to get my workout in, then I can't work out. You find these 15-minute chunks throughout your day. Okay. 15 minutes. And that's where you're going to fit your workout in. Right. And so instead of doing a whole 1-hour workout, right, I may break it up into a couple of 15-minute segments throughout the day. Okay. So you don't have to spend hours in the gym or force yourself into like that kind of monotonous, painful activity that most people hate, right? That's a lot of the reason too why people don't make it is because exercise hurts sometimes, right? You're sore the next day. It's hard to go through the pain just so you can get like the physical and maybe emotional benefits of exercise. Like it's hard to see that when you're going through it or when you're waking up the next morning and you're sore, right? Again, if we can find a smaller chunk, right? A little exercise is better than nothing. Okay. So I'd rather you get 15 minutes in today than the 0 you got in yesterday. Okay. So again, if we start with just a little bit, if we start with just a little bit and we're adding just modest amounts of activity, just to your regular daily or weekly routine, it can have a huge effect on your mental and your emotional health. Right. So it's really important. Like, and you'll see people will talk about fitness and they're talking like largely to overweight populations. They go, go for a 30-minute walk, or you see like the government agencies will say 30 minutes of activity a day, because that's like a minimalist kind of look at it, right? But if you can get 30 minutes a day, right? 30 minutes a day is a decent amount of work. There's a decent amount of work over the course of a week, right? We're talking about consistently getting 30 minutes a day. That's really, it's not hard, but it is hard, right? Considering where you are right now and what you've been doing in your life. If you haven't been exercising at all, right? Finding 30 minutes to exercise is going to be difficult for you, but we are able to do it, right? We're going to get, 3.5 hours of workouts in a week, which is significantly more than what we have been doing in the past. Okay. And I'm not even asking for 30 minutes. I'm talking about 15, right? Now, if you can find two 15-minute segments, and you get your 30 minutes, but I'm only asking for 15, okay? So even the busiest of us, right? And no matter how busy you are, we can find free time in our day, okay? We may not be using it efficiently, but there is free time. It may not be a lot of it, right? There may not be a lot of it, and it may not be consistently there, but in the day somewhere, there's 15 minutes at least, right? We can find that 15 minutes to kind of maybe put something on hold so we can get this in. Because if we consider our health and our fitness to be one of our priorities, which we talked about a couple of days ago, we're prioritizing our health and our fitness, and then we kept our time diary and we know what our time is like, then we know where we can fit our health and fitness into our daily routine, right? So you have to, again, make it a priority, find the time, make the time, and then actually do it, right? And I'd say, again, starting at 15 minutes. So, and honestly, I tell people sometimes, like, if you look at your schedule, right, and you do your 3 to 5 day time diary, right, and you can only find 5 minutes, which is really tough to only find 5 minutes. But let's say you only find 5 minutes, then start with 5 minutes, right? As you start with 5 minutes, then you can start to add on maybe 5 minutes, right? So now you're talking about 10 minutes, right? Or like maybe you wake up 15 minutes earlier, you go to bed 15 minutes later, like you make that 15, right? But again, if you start with 5, maybe start with 10, start with 15, these short bursts of activity can be really effective, right? Like I have been guilty, and I don't do it very often, didn't do it very often, but our warm up at my gym was a 10 to 12 minute warm up. There have been several times, and this is not something I pride myself on, but I'm just saying what you can get done in a small period of time. There have been several times, like a lot, honestly, and not on purpose, several times where athletes have thrown up from a warm up, right? And this is not a difficult warm up. This is literally just a warm up, getting the body going. But you can understand the level of intensity that can be done in 10 to 12 minutes, right? Like if I asked you to run as fast as you can for 10 minutes, you'd be pretty beat up, right? Or if I put together a program like an EMOM where you're doing a certain set of exercises every minute on the minute, you'd be pretty beat up. If I took a Tabata workout, where it's 20 seconds of work followed by 10 seconds of rest, repeated 8 times, and we did that for 4 exercises, it'd take us 16 to 18 minutes, you'd be pretty beat up, right? But you get a great workout, right? Not only would you be working your muscles, but you also be working your cardiovascular system. And over the course of a few weeks to a few months, your body would make huge, huge strides in the direction you want to go. And we're only talking about 15 minutes a day, right? So it's important to do, but it's also important to remember that this doesn't have to be every day, right? So like I mentioned earlier, you have these government agencies that say get 30 minutes of activity a day, right? Which equals 3.5 hours. You could get that same 3.5 hours just over the weekend, or maybe in a couple of days, right? Like your everyday schedule you don't have that time, right? But on the weekend, you don't go to work, so you have a little more time, right? You obviously have things to do with your kids and your family, things you plan for. You got to go to Bed Bath & Beyond. You got to go to Home Depot and pick up the stuff for the, like, I understand, right? You're barbecuing, I get it, right? But you have more time, right? Because you aren't working, unless you run a business and then you're kind of working all the time. You never, whatever, right? But it could be chunked, right, into a few days, right? Over the course of the weekend, instead of doing 30 minutes a day, you do a 1 hour workout, 1 hour workout, 1 hour workout, boom, it's done, right? So now you don't have to worry about Monday through Friday trying to figure out where you can fit that workout in, because you know you're a weekend warrior, right? You know you're going to crush it on the weekend. You can get all your work in on the weekend, and then throughout the week you'll still kind of move around and do some different things, but you're not getting your heavy activity until the weekend, which is better. It's not necessarily ideal, but it is better than what you're doing right now, where we're not getting the activity at all, right? Because we can't find the time and we don't know how we're going to do it. We can't fathom getting an hour of workout in when we got to go to work. We got to pick the kids up from school, and Johnny's got baseball practice. Then we got to go home and get dinner, and I got to help him with homework. And then we got to get bathed and bed and ready. Then I got to do a couple things before I go to bed. Then I wake up 5 a.m., start all over again, right? It's really hard to find the time when you look at it like that. But if you've done your time diary, there's some minutes in there, right? Because when little Johnny's at baseball, softball practice, right, and you're just sitting there with the other dads, looking at your phone or scrolling Instagram, it's like 2.5 hours right there. So you got to think about like where your time is. Like it definitely is difficult. I understand. I'm a father with 2 kids, a wife, businesses, investments, dog, coaching my kids' team, coaching athletes. Like I got a bunch of stuff going on, coaching actual client, weight loss clients, busy dads like myself. I got a mom's group that I'm working. Like I had a bunch of things happening all at the same time, but I have to prioritize my health because none of these things are going to be able to be done unless I'm healthy, right? So I prioritize my health and fitness, right? Because I know why I want to be healthy and fit. I know I want to be around for my children. I know I want to be healthy. I don't want to, when my daughter says, hey, dad, let's go out to the park and play, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm too tired, or oh, I'm too out of shape, I can't do it, right? So I know my why, okay, right? And because I know my why, right, I prioritize the things that I do in my day, right? I prioritize the things I do in my life, right, to support that why. Okay. And in order to do that, in order to prioritize and properly prioritize the things that I do, I keep a time diary and I know what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and I know why I'm doing it. Right. Now that I have the time diary, I can fit 15-minute blocks in. And what I do is I just get up earlier than everybody else. That just works for me. Right. I get up, I get it in before the birds get up. Right. It's still dark outside. I get up and get my workout in at 5 a.m. most mornings. And then I'm out like 6:30. I'm out. I'm back home. I take my shower, start getting stuff ready, help the kids get ready. Right. But for everybody else that doesn't have that kind of time, or maybe you aren't able to get up early because you work early, find those 15-minute chunks, right? The plus 15 method, right? You find those 15-minute chunks. When you are consistently getting those 15 minutes in, right? If that's where you're at, maybe you're at 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes and you want to get to 60 minutes. Start at 30. When you're consistently getting your 30, add 15 plus 15, right? So now we're only doing 4 backs. So we don't have to go from 30 to 60 because it's still hard for you with a busy life and a job and all your responsibilities to find that hour to fit it in. But if you can find 45 minutes, and again, it doesn't have to be a 45-minute block. It could be 15 minutes in the morning, you wake up, you do your morning yoga, get your body and your mind right. Then you do your 30-minute workout later on in the day, right? You figure out how you make these things work for you because you've done, like I said yesterday, you've done a time diary. You know where your time is. You can chunk things or break things up efficiently so that you get what you want, right? So that you can prioritize the things that are important to you because you know your why and you have a goal, right? Those are our steps, right? Just working backwards. So again, if you're too busy during the week, right? A lot of us work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And then we have all our parenting responsibilities or family responsibilities or whatever, right? So we're too busy to get that in, right? So it may be a situation where, again, like I say, you have to be a weekend warrior. You have to get it in on the weekend. You figure out a way to get all your workouts done on the weekend. 3 days of working out on the weekend is the same thing you've been hearing your whole life. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I work out. That's 3 days in a week. Why not just take it and go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Still same 3 days. Granted, I do want you to have some time in between so that you're taking a break and recovering, but that's not always the case, right? You got to do what works best for you, okay? And again, it's better than doing nothing, right? So listen, all of this, right? Typically when somebody starts a program, they got a problem, they've been struggling with it, they're trying to overcome it, they continue to struggle, and then finally they decide to do something about it, right? But because they've been struggling so hard, they go from like 0 to 60, right? Like they go from not doing anything at all, or kind of every once in a while getting a workout in, to I got to do everything I possibly can. I'm going to go 2 a days. I'm going to cut all my calories. I'm going to do it, and that's not sustainable, right? So remember, you didn't get out of shape overnight, right? It wasn't like yesterday you were running a mile and squatting 500 pounds. And you know what I mean? It just wasn't happening yesterday. This has happened over the course of time. So you're not going to instantly transform your body overnight either, right? It's going to take some time. And if you expect too much too soon, you're going to fail, right? And it's not personal. I'm not saying that you're going to be a failure, but that's just what it is, right? It's going to lead to frustration and failure. So what's important that when you start your journey, you remember like the last 10 years, right? Or like for me, I was in high school like 20 years ago, Jesus Christ, right? Over 20 years, right? I could have put on a pound, even if I put on a pound a year, like I'm 20 pounds. It took me 20 years to put on 20 pounds. I didn't, whatever. So So it's not going to be like an overnight thing, right? It's not like, oh, I woke up this morning 20 pounds overweight. So I'm going to go hard in the gym for the next week or two and I'm going to be 20 pounds. That's not necessarily how it works. Now, that could happen, right? Because if you're not doing anything and you jump into doing something, like I've had clients that were, for lack of a better word, like sedentary, like they just weren't doing anything. And then the first week we get active, and we don't really get active. We just change the way we're eating. We have guys dropping 10, 15, 17 pounds in the first week. And that's just because they are cutting out some of the things they have previously been eating and doing just a little bit of working out, right? So it's possible, but it's not necessary, right? Remember, we're talking about a lifestyle. The whole idea behind the 7 steps to being healthy and fit is it's a lifestyle. It's something you'll be doing over the course of your life. You're not doing it for 28 days or for 90 days or for 6 weeks. You're learning during that time, right? I always say my programs are for you to learn how to not need me, right? If you come into my 28-day program, if you do the post-pandemic parent performance program, or you do the 28-day challenge, you are going to learn enough in those 28 days. It's hot in here. Enough in those 28 days to make sure that you can continue to slay or stay fit for 28 years, right? Or however many more years you got. You learn the lessons that are necessary. And that's why I always tell people, like when I do that program and I give it away for free, like I'm giving you tons of game. Like I'm literally giving you my best stuff for next to nothing. Like even if it's at $50, it's next to nothing. I'm giving it to you. Like I'm telling you exactly how to do it. I'm giving you a meal plan. I'm giving you workouts. I'm telling you exactly how to do it. Now it's up to you to put that into action. But the idea is that in that time frame and the time we spend together on those weekly calls and all those things that we do, you should be taking note, learning, because these are the things that you're going to continue to do for the rest of your life. And I know not everybody's going to pick it up that fast. There's going to be struggles. And so that's why we have those longer programs, a 12-week program, 90 days, things like that, right? Where we work a little bit longer together so that you learn a little bit more and it really sticks, right? I know it doesn't stick like that right away for everybody else, right? But again, you didn't get this way overnight, right? You're not going to get to your goal overnight either, right? It's going to take you some time. What's up, Clay? Try not to be discouraged, right? With just remembering that, try not to be discouraged, by what you can't accomplish or how far you have to reach to go to your fitness goals, right? It's going to be some time, right? It's going to be some time. You can't be discouraged. Understand that it's the process. So we talk a lot about in my coaching program about detaching from the results and locking in on the process, right? On the day-to-day. We'll get to our goal, right? No problem. Like I haven't had anybody fail yet. We're going to get to our goal, but we have to be focused on the process, right? If we focus on the process, the goals come to us, right? We don't have to chase them. Okay. So let's keep that in mind as we move forward. So instead of obsessing over results, focus on your consistency. 15 minutes. Start with 15 minutes. Okay. Once we consistently get 15 minutes, we do plus 15. We're not going to go from 15 or, oh, I'm getting it, man, I really love it, I'm going to go to an hour a day. I'm going to go to 2 a days. No, we go from 15 to 30. Even if you're doing your 15 consistently, then all of a sudden an hour block pops up. I don't want you to jump from 15 to an hour, right? What I want is 15 and now I'm getting 30 minutes consistently. Consistency is the point, right? We want to make sure that we are consistently doing what we need to do, and we can add nah, man, I'm not yet, actually. And I am going to, I promise you, don't, no. That's interesting. You had two different profile photos, but that's dope. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be on it. I'm definitely, for you guys that are going to watch this later on, either on YouTube or on IGTV, you can quote me on this. I'm going to be on Kajabi, right? You can hold me to it, put my feet to the fire. So I got to cancel my other stuff, and then I'm going to be on it. I think, unless you, no, I got a couple days, right? What is it? The 21st? I got like 3 or 4 days. I'm gonna be on it though. Where was I at? You messed me up. Okay. All right. So listen, talked about like taking time. So here's what's happening. I know. Thank you. I need you to. So again, it's going to take time for you to get to your goals. And here's what the tricky part is, right? Once you start doing it and you start being consistent, you start to kind of feel your energy levels change and your mood starts to change, and like things start happening quicker than you expected. But don't let that fool you. The physical part of it is still going to take time, right? It's still going to take time. It's still going to be some time. Like, even though you feel really good about working out and you feel it, you feel stronger, your clothes start fitting a little different, right? Your goal is still like some ways away. So just continue to stay focused on the process, stay consistent, right? The 15 minutes, again, when we look back, right? So we're at step 4. We're talking about the plus 15 method. Okay. The reason we get to the plus 15 is because we've done a time diary. We've gone through and we figured out what our daily time looks like. We know for 3 to 5 days, that just starting off at our beginning of our fitness journey, we take that 3 to 5 days and we literally chart everything we do throughout the day from start to finish. Okay. Once we're doing that, right, we're charting everything. We know exactly what we're doing from the time we wake up to the time we go to bed. That gives us an idea of where we can put those 15-minute blocks in. Okay. The reason we start to do that time diary is because we want to be able to prioritize things in our day and in our life, right? We can't prioritize things if we don't know, right? We don't know when we have time to do them, right? Like, if I really, really want to do a thing, but I don't know if I have enough time to do it, then how can I ever do it? Okay. So, we're reverse engineering it. Okay. So we got our plus 15, we've got our time diary. So we know what kind of time we have in the day. Because we know what time we have in the day, then we can prioritize the things that we do each day, right? The reason we want to prioritize it because we know the things that are important to us, because we've discovered our why, which is step 2, right? We know, 1A, right? We know why we want to do something, right? Because we know why we want to do it, right? We know why we want to accomplish our goal, which is like 1A. We can get there. Okay. So again, we'll run through them. I'll work them backwards. Let's go forward. 1A, have a goal, right? That's the bonus, right? Anytime you're starting a fitness journey, you got to have a goal. You got to begin with the end in mind, right? If you begin with the end in mind, then you can work backwards like I just did. Okay. So we got to have a goal, right? Once we have a goal, we got to know why, right? We want to know why we want to accomplish that goal, right? What is it that's making us push ourselves to do this, right? Okay. So we know why, right? Now we have to prioritize things. Okay. We have to prioritize things in our day, in our week, in our month, in our year, right? Prioritize things that get us to our why, and our why gets us to our goal. So we got 3 things now, right? Number 4, right? We got technically 2 things, because these 2 things go together, right? Your goal and your why go together. We prioritize the things in our life so we can get to our goal because of our why. And once we prioritize things, the only way to prioritize them and figure out how they fit in is we got to have an account for our time, right? And so that's number 4. I can't hold my 4 up, right? That's number 4, right? So we got a number 4, and we know that we can prioritize our time accordingly because we know what kind of time we have each day, right? Because we know what kind of time we have each day, and our goal is to get healthy and fit. We're going to start by finding 15-minute blocks. If we can find more than that, we can find 30 minutes, we can find 45 minutes, right? And our goal is to get an hour of activity in a day. And I'm talking about strength training, maybe a little bit of light cardio, and I'll talk more about my feelings on cardio as we go along. But if we can figure out how to get that in, then it's because we know what our time is. Again, most people struggle is they don't know where they're going to find time to get the workout in, or where they're going to find time to prep the meals, or where they're going to find time. And so they let time tell them that they can't be fit. And it's a really interesting concept, because we can't find the time to get healthy and fit now, right? So we end up getting out of shape. We get overweight, and then being out of shape and overweight, right, lead to health issues. Those health issues limit our time on earth, right? So it's like making an investment into your future by finding out what your time looks like now and making the most of it, right? Making it the most efficient we can possibly make it. All right. So I'm gonna wrap this up because I gotta go play with my kids now, right? I hear them in there and they're waiting for me. So wrapping it all up, because I have an account of my time, I know that my time is ticking, and they are going to be knocking on the door pretty soon. Like, hey, dude, you said you was coming to play dolls. So I got to get out of here. So wrapping it up, again, find the time in the day. And then once you find it, make that time your time for fitness. Okay. We make the time what we need, right? If 15 minutes, then it's 15 minutes of fitness. If it's 30 minutes, then it's 30 minutes, right? Once we are doing that consistently, then we can add 15 more minutes because we know what our time is like. And again, it doesn't have to be chunked together. It doesn't have to be a 60-minute block. It'd be 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at the end of the day, however that works. Or if you can't do it every day, take those 15-minute blocks, right, and put them all into the weekend, because I know you work 9 to 5 or whatever your weekly schedule is. You're working 40 hours, 60 hours a week. And so it doesn't make sense for you to do it Monday through Friday, but Saturday and Sunday, we can knock something out, right? Or maybe we go or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we break it up over the week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like whatever you have to do to make sure you do it, but find something that you can do consistently and get that thing done. All right. So again, as long as this thing is going, right? We're on day 4. Day 4 of the 7 steps to being healthy and fit. So as long as I'm going through these things, right, and that's to be 7 days, maybe 8 days total, because there's a bonus at the end. The book is going to continue to be free, right? So if you click the link in my bio, right, the link is up. If you're depending on when you're looking at this, right, the link is up in the bio. Click the link. Go ahead and download your copy of 7 Steps to Being Healthy and Fit. So not only will you have these videos on my YouTube page, here on IGTV, you don't feel like hearing me say it, you don't feel like watching me do it, then you can pop open the book. You can have it downloaded to your phone and computer. It's really, really quick. It's not a long, lengthy book. I get straight to the point. There's graphics to show you exactly what I mean, so that you can get healthy and fit. Bars, like get healthy and fit. You like how I did that? Well, that's kind of cool. If you go ahead and click the link, like I said, you got a couple more days to do that, and then once that's over, the price will go back up. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys jumping in. For everybody that jumped in on live, you guys are dope. For you guys that are watching on YouTube, you guys are also dope. If you're watching on IGTV afterwards, thank you. I appreciate you. Stay tuned for more content like this. I'm gonna keep putting it out after I finish the 7 steps of being healthy and fit. Don't know exactly what direction I'm going in. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go over my other ebook, which is on motivation, right? So stay tuned, man. Keep consuming this dope information, and hopefully you're taking it and using it. Again, 7 steps of being healthy and fit. Like I've had clients, or not even clients, honestly, like people who just bought the book and implemented the principles and have lost 15, 20 pounds, right? Didn't have to, and actually got a free copy on top of it, right? So this is something that can definitely help you change your life. These are the 7 steps that don't have anything to do with like what you're lifting or what you're eating. It's just really about managing your time and priorities and life. Right. All right, guys. So I'm hopping off, and I will see you tomorrow.